Today I'm going to show you guys how to make probably one of the easiest smoker recipes. It is just a regular pork loin. This isn't the tenderloin, this is the loin. Um, it's probably one of the easiest things to make on the smoker. It's one of the first things I started making when I started smoking meat. I think this guy is roughly about 2 pounds. And we're going to keep it as simple as possible. The way I like to cook my pork loins is because I smoke them. I really keep the seasoning down to a minimum on these guys. It's really just salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. So we're going to start off. First, you got to rinse this bad boy off. Rinse them off, dry them after the package. You want to get all the blood and all that stuff juices that's been sitting in off, and you want to get it nice and dry so the smoke really penetrates. There's not like a pellicle layer or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to salt this thing pretty liberally, because you got to remember you're going to cut this thing into slices, and really the only flavoring you're going to have and only seasoning you're going to have is on the outside. So I like to salt it up pretty good and get it nice and salty. Make sure we get all sides. So we can get the sides here, get the bottom on that fat cap, even though most of this fat cap is going to kind of render off throughout the smoke. This is a bit bigger one than I normally get, so this might take 3-4 hours. That is the thing with smoking meat. Everybody always asks, how long is it going to take? Smoking meat, it's not a time thing, it's a temperature thing. So you're going to want to smoke this bad boy until he hits about 145. Once it's at 145, then you're going to pull it and you're going to wrap it. Let's get this salt and pepper on here. Try to keep at least one clean hand. And I like to use these little pepper mills and salt mills, the electric ones, because I do like the fresh ground pepper and fresh ground salt, but I don't like sitting here twisting for 5 minutes. So these things are awesome. I think I got them for under 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll leave the link down below in the description. It will be an affiliate link, so I will get a little bit money back, just so you know, but it's not going to make it cost anymore. It just helps me keep making videos. It kind of takes forever, but the fresh ground salt and peppercorn, it's worth it. It just tastes better. And again, you're going to be pretty liberal with it. Get quite a bit on there. You're going to liberally pepper that, liberally salt it. This is where I do most of my cooking. I do most of the cooking in the house, and I mostly do it outside just because, frankly, I like to use the flat top in the smoker because there's no mess. Well, there's a mess, but the mess is outside, and the smell is outside. It's a lot easier to, clean up with a hose and some rags than it is having to deal with a whole messy kitchen and a bunch of pots and pans. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to let this sit and, really take some of that seasoning in while the smoker gets going. And I'll go clean up my hands and we'll start talking about the smoker. All right, so now we've got the smoker heated up. We're cooking it at about, I think I have it set, 220 degrees. It's a little hot out right now, so, it's kind of hard to keep it that low. But, I try to keep it as low and slow as I can, just so we can really let that fat in the meat render down and pick up that smoke flavor for as long as possible, because like I said, we season it lightly because the smoke is what really flavors it. I'm using applewood smoke this time. I have the Camp Chef Woodwind. It's a great smoker. You obviously don't need one this big, but I like to smoke a lot of meat and we'll throw big parties, so I like to be able to have enough space on my smoker to feed everybody. This is a great little smoker. I really like the pellet smokers. I used to use the old like Weber Smoky Mountain and stuff, but what's that, kids? It's too hard to tend the coals and make sure the temperature is right. This is a lot easier. It's really set it and forget it. So as you can see, I don't have one of those fancy YouTube smokers where it's all clean and perfect and beautiful. It's never been used before. I use mine probably 4 days a week, so it gets dirty. It is what it is. So I like to put my meat kind of over on the left over here, as far from the heating element as I can get, just so it's never really getting that direct heat. It's getting that offset smoke heat as much as possible. and the smoke comes out on the chimney over here. So the thought is the smoke's running across the meat the whole time. One of the most important things with smoking meat is you got to have a good probe. So the Woodwind actually has, I believe, 4 different probe attachments, so you can have 4 probes running at once. It's always important when you're smoking meat to put a probe in each one of your pieces of meat because they're not all going to be done at the same time. What we're looking for here is an internal temperature of about 145. We'll take it out, we'll wrap it, we'll rest it. I haven't decided if I'm going to char it yet with the torch, with the flamethrower, give that little crisp on the edge. But we might do that as well right before we wrap it, but we'll see. So we're going to get it in here, close it up, and forget about it for probably, this is a big piece of meat, probably 3 hours, I'm guessing. And once we hit 145, I'll be back. All right. All right. Well, we have hit that magical 145. I think I did decide we are going to char this bad boy. Get him nice and crispy. So the key is you don't get too close. You don't want it to taste like propane. Just a little crisp. All right. Woo, a little bit of flare up going there. Take care of that. There we go. All right. Now we got to wrap this bad boy up in foil and let it rest for about 10 minutes. All right, we're going to wrap this guy up. Let those juices seal in nicely. Ooh. It's going to continue to cook a bit longer. And we'll get this bad boy sliced up and delicious looking. All right, we have had this sitting. It's got a bunch of juices here. We are going to give it a slice and see what it looks like on the inside here. Save those juices for the family. Ooh, that is a delicious looking chunk of pork loin right there. Get you some close-ups in a second. Oh, that smells good too. Look at those juices. Yeah, that's tasty. All right, there's nothing left to do here but take this inside, slice it up, and feed it to the family. I can't wait to eat it, and I hope this was a simple, easy recipe for you. And check back. I'm going to start uploading more and more recipes and my cooking over the next few weeks, and we'll see how it goes. All right, thanks.